Excuse me, Lena, but what do you think you're doing by going back to your parents' home without having taken care of the house chores and the errands I asked you to do? Come back at once and finish up the house chores, and drive me to my lessons.
Good morning, Alice. I'm afraid it's not possible right now as I'm on a train.
What? To begin with, you shouldn't even think about going back to your parents' home right now. I don't care whether you're on the train or not, you can get off at the next station, so come back home at once.
I believe I told you before that my brother is getting married, so I will be away for about a week or so.
I do remember you telling me, but I don't remember giving you the permission to go back. Come back at once.
Please don't talk nonsense. I can't not attend my brother's wedding as his younger sister. It would be impolite to his fiancé's family.
Do you think I care about such a thing? You don't seem to have enough of a sense of responsibility as my son's wife. It seems like I need to be even more strict on you from now on.
Are you telling me that I can't attend my brother's wedding nor go back to my parents' home?
Of course, why even question the matter? Once you get married, that means that you cut your family ties with your parents. That is a given.
So you say, but in your case, I hear that you are still very much dependent on your younger sister and that you continue to go back multiple times a year to visit your family's house.
What?
And that's considered all right?
It's all right because that's my case.
Oh, I see. In that case, it also means that it's all right for me to go back to my parents' place.
What?
I have to get off the train soon, so please excuse me.
Hold on a moment, Lena. You need to face the facts. You were raised by your father, and you were allowed to marry into a family that manages a company. You need to realize just how fortunate you are. That sort of rebellious attitude gives away your unforgivable behavior. If this is how you want to deal with the matter, then I will take action. Don't come begging for my forgiveness later.
Lena, seems like Mom did something crazy again.
Oh, John.
I came back home from work and was getting out my formal wear when Mom started complaining to me about you. I told her that I didn't have much time and managed to leave the house, but I guess it wouldn't feel good if you were told such things. I'm really sorry. I want just the two of us to live on our own, but I need to make sure that it's the right timing, especially with Dad.
I'm fine. I know what your plans are, and I'm pretty good at resisting, so no worries.
Yeah, please hold on tight for a little longer. I'm sorry.
Yeah, really, don't worry. And where are you now, John?
I just met up with Dad at the train station and am standing on the platform. We'll be taking the train we plan to take.
I got it. Safe travels.
Yep, thanks.
Excuse me, Alice. Nearly all of my things arrived at my parents' place today. This is more or less everything that I had in the house.
Oh, did they arrive? I sent your stuff to your parents' place, of course, with cash on delivery. There was much more stuff than I thought, so packing them was such hard work.
Could you explain to me what is going on?
Well, you ignored my order and went back to your parents' house. That means that you have no intention of coming back here, right? That's why I kindly packed up your things and sent them to your parents' place.
Oh, I see. Well, thank you.
Why don't you just get a divorce now? If you don't plan to come back, that also means that you don't plan to continue being married to my son, right? If you wish, I can send you the necessary divorce papers all filled out for you with my son's name on it.
No, that will not be necessary.
Oh, really? Even if you try to resist getting a divorce, you won't be able to enter this house anymore. After all, you disobeyed your husband's mother's order and went back to your parents' home without my permission. Did you understand me? You are not to come back here anymore.
Yes, as you wish.
Oh, so you do listen to me on that point.
That's right. It seems that we agree on that point. Or rather, it's the only point we agree on. Thank you for sending me my things. However, I can't take any responsibility for whatever may happen later on.
What?
John will be messaging you later. He told me. Please excuse me.
John? Oh, I was just messaging with Lena.
Why did you do such a thing?
What are you talking about?
Things are really chaotic here right now because you sent all of Lena's things to her parents' home. In order to find out what made you do this, Lena messaged you. And you told her to divorce me?
What? You saw that message?
That's right. I saw the messages word for word right next to Lena. Dad was also reading them with us.
Your father? What? Your father is also there? Why? What is going on here? I thought that you and your father were going to attend a wedding of one of your partner company's presidents.
That business partner happens to be Lena's brother.
What? That means Lena's brother's wedding that she attended is the same one that you and your father attended? The one with your business partners?
Goodness sakes, did you think that these would be two different weddings on the same day?
Well, yes.
When we exchanged greetings with Lena's family, I explained to you about her brother. Don't you remember?
Oh, was that right?
And also, I remember now how rude you were when you found out that Lena grew up in a single parent's home. But I didn't think that you would have forgotten everything about her brother when he introduced himself to you. I'm not even angry, I'm just stupefied.
And your father?
Dad is in the midst of apologizing to Lena, her father, and her brother on your behalf.
What?
But this shouldn't be a surprise. To find out that their precious family member was being harassed by their business partner's family. There is now undeniable proof thanks to your messages.
It's not my fault because I didn't know about that.
Even if you didn't know, the fact remains that you were harassing Lena.
This was not harassment. I was just teaching her the basic manners as her mother-in-law.
Oh, stop it. It's just miserable hearing you make excuses like this.
But...
Well, whatever it is, the consequence will be the same.
The consequence?
We ended up doing this ahead of the schedule since you sent Lena's things to her parents' house. But enough is enough. There is no use waiting around anymore.
John, what are you talking about?
Dad is going to take the first train back home tomorrow and explain things to you then. That's all for me. Bye.
Lena, you can come back home now.
What?
Also, tell me your brother's contact information.
What is going on?
I'm not harassing you, and I need to clear up this misunderstanding with your brother. I hear he's the president of my husband's business partner's company. This is how things are, so you come back home right now and tell me your brother's contact information.
Excuse me?
Do it quickly.
I am no longer a part of your family anymore.
What?
John has decided to change his last name to mine.
What? What are you saying?
Also, I hear that your husband asked you for a divorce.
How do you know that?
Well, I had heard about it from him previously.
What? Beforehand?
I was so fed up with her awful attitude, and then when she began harassing my son's wife, I really couldn't let things go on the way they were, since this would also damage our business, not to mention our family relationships. That is how he came to his conclusion, he told me.
What on earth? What is this? My husband, who I've been together with for many years, suddenly wants to get a divorce? My son, whom I have given everything, is taken away from me by his wife, and he decides to change his name to his wife's surname? Why are the two of them ganging up on me, one after the other?
John and your husband decided to act at the same time.
What?
They figured that if one of them acted before the other, you would come to depend on that person entirely. And in order to avoid having to go through such a situation, the two of them decided to act at the same time.
What is that? That's absolutely terrible.
You're conveniently forgetting the fact that you harassed your daughter-in-law. I think that is much more terrible in many ways.
In any case, give me your brother's contact information now.
Your husband and John have told me that. I don't need to listen to a word you say, which obviously means I don't need to follow your orders.
This is your husband's mother ordering you to do this. You have to listen to me.
Are you not aware of the fact that your position will soon be taken away from you? I don't plan to listen to what you say either, and I am not such an idiot that I would give you my brother's personal information.
What the?
John told me that I don't need to deal with you anymore.
Wait a moment.
So please excuse me.
Lena!
The day after the divorce was finalized, "It's all that woman's fault," said my mother-in-law, and jumped onto the train to come to my parents' house. Or that's what she had intended to do, but for some reason, she got onto the train going in the opposite direction and got off at the wrong train station. It seems that she had not remembered where my parents' home was and got off at a station that sounded similar to the one where my parents' home is. Because she couldn't quite remember the address, the police finally became involved. I'm not sure what she wanted to do. Her relative came to pick her up and was sent straight to her parents' home in the next town. After that, she stayed at the house in which her parents and her younger sister live in, but without doing any work whatsoever. At the moment, they're planning to move her away to a place where she can both live and work in the same place.
Hi, nice to meet you. This is Michelle, right? Hi? Sorry to contact you out of the blue. I'm Jennifer. I work in the same department as Robert. Oh, one of Rob's colleagues? Hi, nice to meet you too. Thanks for always being there for him. He loves working there. Would you mind not acting as if you're already his wife, please? It makes this very uncomfortable. What do you mean, uncomfortable? I know you've got your heart set on marrying Robert, but hate to break it to you, he's decided to marry me. You said you were at the same company as Robert, right? That's right. I work under him in the same department. We've been close colleagues for, it must be 6 years now. But we've actually been an item since last year. What? I don't think that's right. What do you mean? Yes, that's why I'm texting you today. I have a little favor to ask you, Michelle. Yeah? What's the favor? I'd like you to end things with Robert and promise to never see him again. Oh, yes, certainly. No problem at all. Is that how you imagine this going? What gives you the right to demand such a thing? You make a move on someone's guy and have the nerve to ask them to break up with him? Is there something wrong with you? Stop joking around, will you? Oh, this is no joke. I'm deadly serious. Robert and I are together now. He's in love with me. Hang on a sec. Rob and I are getting married this weekend. If you're as close to him as you say, you'd surely know that, right? Yes, of course I know. So I'm taking your place at the altar. I have Robert's full agreement. He's 100% on board. At first, he was saying that after you guys got married, we'd have to go back to just being colleagues, but that all changed yesterday when I found out I was pregnant. Pregnant? That's right. And of course, it's Robert's. I was sure he'd tell me to end the pregnancy. I wasn't expecting anything from him, but he really took it seriously. Right there on the spot, he decided to take responsibility and marry me. I was so impressed. He'll make a great husband and father, don't you think? This is unbelievable. Oh, I can't wait to settle down. Can't you just imagine our happy little family? So, that's it for you and Robert, okay, Michelle? Hang on. This is too much to take in all at once. My head is spinning. You work with Robert and he started cheating on me with you. And now you're pregnant with his child? Is that it? Exactly. He's mine now and soon we'll be happily married. That's all very well for you to say, but it's not that simple. We are supposed to be getting married this weekend. It's only 3 days away. Oh, you must be worried about the venue. There's nothing to worry about there. Robert has already told them there will be a change of bride. It's already taken care of. What the? Yep, he called them this morning. He made all the necessary arrangements. Robert's going to explain everything to the guests, too. So you really don't have to do anything. We'll take care of it all. All you have to do is let me take your place. How is this happening? It's 3 days till the wedding. I really do pity you, Michelle. But think of it as fate. It was meant to be. And don't worry about Robert. I'll take good care of him. And the baby! Michelle, I've just heard from Robert. What on earth is going on? You aren't going ahead with the wedding? And who is this Jennifer woman? I haven't really wrapped my head around it either yet. All I know is that Robert started cheating on me with a woman he works with. What? My Robbie? How could he? Yeah, apparently. I still haven't actually talked to him yet, but according to the other woman, there's already a baby. A baby? What does that mean? From a previous relationship? No. According to her, she found out the other day that she's pregnant. Pregnant? Well done, Robert! What the? You're happy about this? Michelle, he's going to be a father! It's time to take responsibility for it. It's a little unfair to you, but you've got to step aside. Really, Paula? I'm going to be a grandmother! Oh, I can't wait! I wonder if it's going to be a boy or a girl. Hang on a moment. We are 3 days out from the wedding, and your son has just been exposed as a cheater. He betrayed his fiancée, and you're okay with that? Yeah, well, cheating is never good, but yes, of course I'll give him a stern talking to. But you can't put any of the blame on the baby, right? Oh, I've always wanted a grandchild. Of course I don't blame the baby, but it certainly doesn't absolve Robert. Well, you said yourself that even after getting married, you were going to work on your career and didn't want to have children anytime soon, right? Maybe I did say that, but that didn't mean never. I was devastated when I heard that. I always dreamed of being a cool grandmother. I thought I'd probably die waiting. I must say it was careless of Robert, that's true, but I'd be lying if I said I wasn't happy. So you're okay with this, Paula? Some woman swoops in and takes a man from his bride 3 days before the wedding? You're fine with your son marrying such a woman. If this woman is going to give me a grandchild, then I don't have any problem at all welcoming her into our family. Besides, I can't really complain. Robert takes really good care of us. Why, just the other day he paid for us to spend a weekend at a spa. He also insisted on paying for the renovations to our conservatory. He's more than we could hope for. And now he's going to give me a grandchild. Wait a minute. I didn't hear anything about a spa trip or renovations. You didn't? Oh, they weren't cheap. I would have thought you two had discussed it. No, I didn't hear a word about it. Oh, well maybe he talked to the new girl about it then. The new girl? Aren't you being a little too accepting of this? Michelle, I do feel sorry for you, but we only have a few days until the wedding. You'll have to just step aside so the new girl can step in. But Michelle, thank you so much for all the time you've spent with Robert. We really appreciate it. What a day! The ceremony was perfect and everyone had such a great time. Oh, how wonderful. There must have been a lot of people who were able to simply forget what a cheating homewrecker you are. Hey, can you not talk like that? Don't ruin my big day. Well, then don't text me. Weren't you the one who told me to never see Robert again? It's you who's dragging this out. This is a special case. I'm just trying to send a little joy your way. What now, Jennifer? Well, you lost your fiancé right before your wedding day. I guess you must have been feeling pretty miserable today. No? I'll send you the wedding photos. That might brighten your day. Nah, I'm okay, thanks. No need. Oh, come on, Michelle. You must be dying to see them. Really? I'm serious. Don't send them. You thought today would be a disaster, didn't you? I tried not to think about it at all. Well, you'll be disappointed to hear it was a huge success. Everyone had an absolutely amazing time. That's what happens, I guess. When everyone heard I was pregnant, they all rushed to congratulate me. Ah, what a day! I've got to hand it to you, Jennifer. You're really something, aren't you? And Robert told me I was the most beautiful thing he'd ever seen. Oh, I'm so happy. What a wonderful feeling. It certainly sounds like you had a great day, but do you really think you can treat people as badly as you did and have it all come up for roses? Of course! Why not? We tied the knot in front of a big crowd and got their blessing. It really was a fantastic ceremony, Michelle. First comes the fabulous wedding, then the baby, then the happily ever after. Right. You think so? It's all downhill from here, I'm afraid, Jennifer. What do you mean? You seem to be in such high spirits. It sounds like today was a huge success. But you better prepare for revenge. I'm going to make you regret this, Jennifer. Get ready for hell on earth. What brought this on all of a sudden? Michelle? You're scaring me. All right, that's all from me for now. I hope you two are very happy. This is your doing, isn't it, Michelle? Robert's been transferred to a sales position in the middle of nowhere. It's miles away. What now, Jennifer? I don't know how you pulled it off, but it's got your name written all over it. It's a demotion, clear and simple. Plus, the company told me I no longer have a position there at all. Oh, really? Well, how about that? With the baby starting to show, I was planning to quit anyway, but to be told like that, it's no different to being fired. Oh, dear me, Jennifer. That is a bad start for the newlyweds, isn't it? Oh, dear. How can you act like this is nothing? It must have been your doing. I remember you said to prepare for hell on earth. Ah, yeah, that's right. But I didn't have anything to do with Robert's transfer or you losing your job. That would have been a company decision. What did you say to my company? Nothing at all. But it seems your antics really angered the general manager of a subcontractor. I'm guessing your company couldn't just brush it under the rug. They needed to make a show of dealing with such complaints. What subcontractor? What are you talking about? Oh, it wasn't me. I can assure you of that. It was all the general manager's doing. I'm just his daughter. Oh, God. Yep. You may have had plenty of people at your wedding to fawn over the beautiful young bride, but don't forget there were also a lot of really angry people there. That's what happens to women who play your sort of games. Hang on a minute. Are you for real? You're the daughter of some bigwig company manager? That's right, yes. Of course, Robert knew all this from the first day he met me. Actually, he called me this morning. He told me he was expecting some kind of backlash and was kinda relieved it was only a demotion to a job in the middle of nowhere. He even asked me to say thank you to my father for taking pity on him. It could have been way worse. What do you mean? Didn't Robert tell you to be ready for this kind of thing when he agreed to marry you? Be ready? I thought he was talking about the baby and making a family. I won't forgive what happened, but I have to hand it to him for taking all this like a man. But you're still both despicable cheats. Anyway, Jennifer, have a nice life. Have a nice life? How the hell can we do that? He's being sent away and I've been fired! Yeah, well, that's got nothing to do with me, has it? Michelle, would you please tell me why we are being billed for the wedding? Oh, that? My parents said they'd cover Robert's half of the wedding costs and he agreed to pay them back. I spoke to him this morning and he said he was leaving for his new position straight away and that I should send the bill to you. What does that mean? You make it sound as if he doesn't have any money. That's exactly what it means. Why else would he beg my parents to cover the costs? The plan was to split the cost of the wedding down the middle, but he's broke, so he had to swallow his pride and promise to pay my parents back. That can't be true. Trips to spas and renovations to the house? The idiot spent every last cent trying to impress you guys. By the way, why are you opening the mail addressed to Robert anyway? Well, it had your name and address on it as the sender. Of course I was curious. I don't really care either way. Just make sure you put that invoice somewhere safe. Send it on to Robert when he's settled into his new position. You don't have to tell me. I'll be doing that for sure. Michelle, let me just check with you though. The invoice is made out to Robert, right? He's the one who has to make the payments, right? My husband and I aren't going to be caught up in this, are we? Yeah, I think that sounds about right. Of course, naturally, you'll become involved if he asks you for money. Ah, come on. No. Well, he's going to take a pretty substantial pay cut because of all of this. If he doesn't have any savings, then there's no other option than to ask his mom and dad for help, right? I've got no obligation to pay for anything, so it goes without saying you'll be billed for the whole thing. It's on the invoice. $30,000. You've got to be kidding! Oh, and just to be sure, there was another invoice in the envelope too, right? Put that with the other one somewhere safe. Another one? Another $20,000 for the pain and suffering you've all put me through. Don't worry, I'm asking Robert for that too. Another $20,000? Yeah, so that comes to a grand total of $50,000. Thanks. He doesn't have a hope in hell of repaying it, so you're going to have to help him, Paula. Us? We don't have anything like that kind of money. I'm sure you'll work out something after all he's done for you. Anyway, bye-bye, Paula. Michelle, I'll give him back. Please at least reconsider the amount you are asking Robert to pay. Oh, Paula sent on my letter? That's good. Jennifer, I have no intention of letting him, or you for that matter, off the hook. Not by a single penny. I spoke to your mother-in-law about that very thing. You'll all pull together as a family and find a way. As I'm telling you, and no doubt Paula has too, we don't have any money. I have barely any savings, and there's a baby on the way to consider. How am I supposed to take care of my baby if we have to give every cent to you? Is that right? But the baby is not really my problem. You're going to have to figure something out. If you don't have any money yourself, how about you go groveling to your parents? Oh, how could I have been so absent-minded? I completely forgot. Your parents have disowned you, haven't they? Why, Michelle? How could you do this? To be honest, they are the only decent people I've met during this whole rotten thing. Because of you, I've lost my job and Robert's been sent far away from me and the baby. My parents have disowned me. You've thrown my life into total chaos. I'm glad things are going from bad to worse. I can't take it anymore. You can have Robert back. Michelle, you've got to forgive me. What are you going to do with the kid? Planning on being a solo mom? I'll get by, somehow. Unlike you, I'm young and pretty. I'll find someone to take care of us. Oh, were you planning on running back to the guy you were cheating on while you took Robert from me? Let me see. Ricardo? Was that his name? Wasn't he working for a big law firm? How do you know that? I told you I was going to take you down, Jennifer. I looked into everything. I told you I was going to make you regret this. I spoke with him and told him exactly what you were up to. You did what? Turns out he was pretty bitter after you dumped him, but after I told him what you'd done, he seemed relieved. Happy to have dodged the bullet even. And you're too late anyway. He started seeing the daughter of one of the guys at my office. He went all starry-eyed talking about her. Oh, Michelle! You've even destroyed my hopes of a second chance with him! Now I've really got nowhere to go. I was stringing him along as a plan B in case things didn't work out with Robert. Oh, Michelle, how could you? You're pregnant with Robert's child and still only thinking of yourself. How can you even be considering an escape plan? You're a real piece of work, you know that? The baby isn't the problem. I'll find a way to manage with the baby. But what you've done to us is beyond belief. I'm all alone in the world now. Do you understand what that's like? Nobody is going to help me or even give me a second thought. I told you I was going to get my revenge. I told you to prepare for hell on earth. What can I say? I'm a girl of my word. As I predicted, it seems that Robert asked his parents to lend him the money. His mother flat out refused until he brought up all the money he'd given them in the form of gifts and repairs to the house. Apparently, they've sold the house in order to help Robert repay his debt. Robert himself followed company orders and moved to the outpost in the middle of nowhere. He's still there living on his own. Jennifer moved into a dirt cheap apartment with Robert's parents. They are still furious with her and have demanded she get right back to work as soon as the baby arrives. On top of that, they treat her like a slave and insist she does all the housework. She's mentally and physically an absolute wreck, I hear.